Hello and welcome to October. So this video will probably be a little bit shorter than normal because I've not done an awful lot of different things this month. I've had a couple of larger projects that I've been working on, and also my voice is probably going to give up at some point because I am at the tail end of a pretty nasty cold that's been going around at the moment. I'm hoping I can get through this without having a coughing fit, but we shall see. So the first thing we'll be looking at today is the rainbow coloured cowl that I was working on. I know last time I mentioned this that I was probably going to frog it, but I hadn't at that point. I have now since frogged it because I just didn't want to work on it. I didn't like looking at it. I knew I wasn't going to enjoy it. And what's the point of doing something if you're not going to enjoy it? So it's frogged and it is gone. The first thing that I made in October was a pair of fingerless gloves, which I forgot to take a photo of, and I can't take a photo because they have been sent to the person who bought them, because they were an order from my Etsy shop. I do that a lot with things that I make, like the things that I make to order for the shop. I forget to take photos of them because I'm so invested in getting them finished, getting them packaged up and sent out, that I just completely forget that I need to take a photo until I'm putting it in the book when I finished it, and I'm like, but never mind. They look nice and I think they fit. The next thing that I did was I spent pretty much half a day just at the sewing machine sewing a skirt and an apron for my Halloween costume. The skirt and the apron actually are both made very similarly. The skirt is I want to call it like a split side or split pinafore apron. I'm not sure I don't know what the technical name for it is, but basically it's two pieces, and instead of it being on like a zipper or tying to itself, it's the front gets tied on, no, the back gets tied on and then the front gets tied on. I'm really not explaining this very well. So instead of it having like a zip or buttons or a clasp or a closure or whatever, when you put the skirt on, you tie the back half gets tied on and ties at the front, and then the front half goes over that and ties at the back. So it kind of ties on like two aprons, but they're sewn together at the sides, and you just got a little bit of a gap which you can put a pocket in. I've not put pockets in it because I couldn't be bothered. And I also didn't have enough material left over. It's super gathered at the top. It's like 3 times my waist size. So it's gathered down quite a lot. And I like that because it means you've got a lot of volume and swoosh in the skirt. And then the apron, I made that by cutting the bottom off an old underdress and cutting up the back so it made like a long panel, and then I gathered that down to be you can just see it at the sides on that piece there, so it comes to halfway round, and then I've added a top band on to tie it, which you can see there, and that's it. It's as simple as that. They've both worked out really well. There are things I would do differently if I was to make them again. The main thing for me really is I would have chosen a different material for the skirt, because it is a bit not thick, it's a bit stiffer than I would like, but it holds up really well, and I probably will wear it in earnest, rather than it just being a costume piece, especially if we're going out for like a walk in the countryside or around one of the local parks or something and it's a bit chilly. It will be quite good for a warmth layer. I haven't got any photos of me in the full costume yet. Those probably won't be happening until actually on the 31st itself. I'm hoping it all comes together well. The only thing I'm really worried about is my hair, but I'll figure it out when it comes to the day. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect. It will still give the illusion of what I want it to, because at the end of the day the hair is the smallest part of it really compared to everything else, because I've got fake ears, I've got a pipe, I've made a couple of accessories that I've got in my basket. I've got my basket. My favourite piece of the whole outfit though is the cloak, which my friend made for me, and it's a beautiful dark green, and I cannot wait to put this outfit together. I'll be wearing it in work because we're having a fancy dress competition at work. I think what I will do is I'll not wear the cloak whilst I'm in work. I will just put it on for the competition part, get some photos, maybe ask a colleague to take a couple on my phone as well, and then I'll probably put it in the boot of the car so that it stays neat and doesn't get dirty or anything. But no, I'm very much looking forward to wearing this. I wish I had a bit more time to redo the waistcoat, but it is good enough for me. I'm not going to redo it. The next thing that I made is a pair of poppies. My father-in-law sent me a message asking if I could make a couple of poppies for him and mother-in-law. I didn't charge them anything for this. They did offer, but I already had all of the materials to make them. It was just the hour or so to actually put them together that took the time. And but they have made a donation to the Royal British Legion, so they have still done their bit for charity in wearing their poppies as well. They just wanted something that was a bit more unique, and they can wear these year after year. I'm quite happy with how they came out. They look a little bit more like poinsettias to me, but they serve a purpose, and the fact that they are red with a black bit in the middle and they're being worn around Remembrance Day, people will get that they're poppies, even though they're not specifically poppies themselves. And the last thing that I didn't actually make this. Well, no, I did make it, but I didn't make it now. I made this jumper 3 years ago. Finished it in December, I think, 2020. And I wore it that Christmas for a short, brief time. And then I haven't worn it since. It's just sat in the bottom of a drawer. And the reason that I haven't worn it very much is because when I made it, I unfortunately made it too short in the body. And I'm quite particular when it comes to jumpers about how I want them to sit on me. I don't wear jumpers very often because I don't tend to like how they sit on my stomach. I feel much more comfortable in a cardigan. So I had a bright idea in the middle of the night one night, or as I was falling asleep or waking up or something, to steek the jumper, because I have steeked things that I've made since I made that jumper and they've worked out really well, and it means that I've not just got a jumper sitting in a drawer doing nothing that could be worn, and it's worked out fabulously. I tried it on after I'd steeked it and it's really comfy and cozy and it's much better and feels much nicer than the jumper did. I feel much more comfortable in it. So that will be getting thrown on in the month of December. I'll probably wear it most days. So that's it for the month. Thank you for joining me. If you do want to see photos of me in my full Halloween outfit before the end of November, then you can check me out on Instagram. All the links and everything will be in the description below. So thank you for joining me and bearing with my voice.